John looks nice today, doesn't he?
9:02 a.m.
Definitely improvement.
I assume he's on his way.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. I'll call February 11th meeting of Mason County Fiscal Court to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's snowy Tuesday. Madam Clerk, could you start us off with a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, we are going to start our meeting off with a special presentation this morning in lieu of a community servant that has served our area for north of 40 years. Mr. Bill Boggs, will you come join us, please, sir? Bill, not only being a member of this community, I was thinking this morning, you've not only been mayor, you've been crime fighter, local businessman, resident historian, etc., etc. One of the more important roles you've served, north of 40 plus years, 45 years, on the Buffalo Trace Area Development District, representing not only Maysville, but Mason County, with differing responsibilities. And a term such as that, as well as work such as that, has to be recognized. And so for your service, we greatly appreciate you. Having said that, the Spirit of Mason County Award, certificate of appreciation for Mr. Bill Boggs in appreciation of his 40 plus years of service on the Buffalo Trace Area Development District Board, and of course a citizen of Maysville and Mason County, Kentucky.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's been 45 years that I've been on this board, and I think I've been told it's the longest tenured
Yes,
of
sir.
all the 15 ad districts in the Commonwealth that anyone
Wow.
has ever served.
Yes, sir.
And I certainly appreciate the local support that I've had of keeping me on that board and all. And again, you said local citizen, but I'm retiring from this board, but I'm also retiring from my insurance business at the end of April. So it's kind of time to put the old man out to pasture and all that.
Not in the least. Not in the least.
But I, again, certainly appreciate the commission supporting the community, and thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Bill and Charlene, sorry I missed that.
Commissioners, we also have a presentation this morning from our local leadership Horizon crew. I believe Economic Development Director Tyler McHugh. Would you like to come forward, Tyler?
Sure.
Is anyone else joining you this morning?
Just me today.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, we've been trying to get in this for years, and this doesn't think we're very important, does it? You keep the records.
As I'm sure you all are aware, our local leadership Horizon does a yearly cohort where local citizens and government leaders can go as groups to tour local facilities such as healthcare, education, industry, and also a trip to Frankfurt to see how the state government works and supports our area. This year our cohort is wrapping up and we have chosen our project, which is to have a better understanding for our local community of the Appalachian Regional Commission, and more importantly, of its impact on regions like ours and the fact that Mason County is not currently represented in that commission. It was formed over 40 years ago, and at that time, Mason County and Bracken County both opted to not be a part of the commission. Our group would like to create more awareness of the commission itself, and possibly in the future petition to have Mason County added to that commission. Just a few stats for you. As most of you know, Ripley, Ohio is a part of that commission. In 2022, Ripley received $865,800 in grants just alone in their community. If Ripley, Ohio can receive that kind of funding from the Appalachian Regional Commission, which is farther west and what most people wouldn't consider Appalachia, we feel like Mason County and Bracken County should definitely have a chance of getting some of those funds. If you see the map on the second page, I've indicated, I know everyone can find Mason County on a map, but just there you can see how we are essentially wrapped around the Appalachian Regional Commission. And we feel that there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to petition for Mason and Bracken counties to be added to the commission itself. Like I said, we're wrapping up our 2024-2025 cohort. We would really appreciate your all supporting this as we sort of just give the community an idea of what the commission is and how important it could be for us in securing grant funding. And that's all I have.
Commissioners, any questions?
Makes sense.
I appreciate y'all's time and support.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Commissioners, also in your packet, you will see a resolution for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014 for resolution for interlocal agreement on federal workforce issues. Mason County is one of 10 counties within the federal workforce investment area, otherwise known as TENCO, that is housed up at Buffalo Trace Area Development District. Our interlocal agreement, as well as the federal legislation, is up for renewal. Last approved in 2021 and expires this June. Mr. Justin Suttles was going to come join us today, but due to the weather, will not make it. Renewal of this resolution will empower workforce services to continue to be provided through our local workforce development board. Examples of what TENCO gets accomplished in our area include scholarships for individuals going into high demand occupations, which include tuitions, books, program supplies, gas reimbursement, and even child care if needed. Also paid work experience for youth who are looking at careers instead of college. On-the-job training opportunities for adults, as well as business services such as coordinating and facilitating hiring events and job fairs, as well as assistance with recruitment and retention strategies for businesses. The federal law that funds the services provided by TENCO requires the highest ranking local elected official be the sub-grant recipient for these federal funds. TENCO's 10 county judges decided that it would make more sense to select one judge as the chief local elected official, or CLEO. That individual is me.
Well,
Yes. Well, it'd be weird if I just read Judge Owen McNeil. Resolution also, included in the packet, gives approval for myself to sign the agreement, ensuring services from the TENCO Workforce Development Board are available to our community businesses in Mason County. Any questions on the interlocal cooperative agreement for our federal workforce funds? So I would entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We now have a second. Are there any discussions, additions, or deletions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Bear with me, because that is a long contract. Also, Commissioners, we were expecting Jameson French from Buffalo Trace to come up and join us today. However, due to the weather, he will not be. One thing we are working on is a FEMA BRIC. It's called a BRIC, B-R-I-C grant. These funds will be utilized for generators for our remaining 3 or 4 volunteer fire departments across Mason County. Should they lose power, these generators will kick in, providing electric to the facility. We utilize our volunteer fire department framework across the county, not only to battle emergencies and fires, but also as we've seen over this last winter, as significant warming center presences when needed. This application would go for Dover, Fernleaf, Orangeburg, and Sardis to apply for electric generators for each of those facilities. The other volunteer fire departments already have these, and so I would entertain a motion to apply for the FEMA BRIC FMA generator application.
I don't know what they do without generators. Travis and Joe would know this better, but I would think generators would be critical for starting diesel, for block heaters for diesel engines.
Yes, sir, very much so.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion,
Second.
and we have a second. Any discussion, additions, or deletions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. And so, Commissioners, we also have Comprehend CEO, Miss Melissa Greenwell, joining us today. Melissa and I discussed earlier in the month kind of a reintroduction of the services that Comprehend provides for Mason County for the court. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning.
Hello.
As Judge stated, we had a conversation earlier in the month, and I am just trying to make some rounds, re-educate the community a little bit on the services that Comprehend offers. In front of you, you'll have a full array of the services. I think there's probably about 50 listed on that one pager that you have in front of you. In total, we have close to 65 programs through Comprehend that serves the 5 counties in the Buffalo Trace Area Development District. We are a local nonprofit organization that's provided services in this area since 1968. So we've been around for a minute. We wanted to just kind of highlight a little bit about the 4 pillars we operate under providing services for the region. So those 4 pillars are behavioral health, substance use. We serve individuals with developmental disabilities as well as prevention. And I'm going to highlight just a few of those programs for you this morning. Not to take up too much of your time, I won't hit every one of them because you have those in front of you. But the biggest ones that are providing critical services to the county are the ones that I'll talk about this morning. Our crisis team is a team that provides immediate intervention for individuals who are in crisis. The services include in-office services as well as a mobile crisis response that responds to our area hospitals as well as to our local jail. We have a team that is made up of a clinician, a case manager, peer support specialist, and we operate 24/7 on that crisis team, responding as needed to any type of services that are needed for individuals who are in crisis, working with the local hospitals as well as law enforcement on providing those services. We've also recently launched, new in this area, our 988 hotline. This is a hotline that has been in operation nationally for the last 2.5 years. But just within the last 3 to 4 months, we've brought that to this region, operating our call center locally, which I think is a huge benefit to the community. Our calls were routed to the Pennyroyal region in western Kentucky. And it wasn't that it wasn't working, but I feel like providing that service locally, our people that are calling that hotline are getting better resources, because we have people that live here and work here and know what's available to the people who are calling in. So we're really excited to be able to offer that service locally now. In our substance use arena, we have our intensive outpatient program where we receive a lot of referrals from our local court system. So that provides a really structured treatment for individuals who are struggling with addiction. And it requires 9 hours a week of intense group therapy work in addition to their individual therapy and working their meetings as well. So new on the horizon for Comprehend and for the region as well is we are on the cusp of opening up our buprenorphine clinic. We received an opioid abatement grant through the state to be able to open up that clinic. And the only thing that's holding us up at this moment is the credentialing through Medicaid for our APRN that we've hired to provide that service. And once we get that green light, we'll be up and running. So what that clinic is going to do, it's called buprenorphine, but most people know the medication as Suboxone. So that is it's going to be serving people who are suffering from opioid use disorder. That medication reduces the risk of overdose by 50%. So I truly feel like that we are going to save a lot of lives with this medication-assisted treatment program. We worked with Jared Muse when the HEAL study through the University of Kentucky was up and operational. And what we know through that research is that we have a minimum of 200 people just from Mason County alone that are traveling outside of our region to receive that medication treatment. So I feel like that there are hundreds more who would benefit if it was locally and the barriers were reduced to them accessing the treatment. So we're really excited to be able to open that up, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. We have been waiting on this credentialing for about 4 weeks now, and so 4 to 6 weeks is usually what it takes to get that running. So
Where will that be? At your Forest Avenue?
that will be at the Forest Avenue location. It will be in the old BTMA clinic that we had opened in that building. So we have already hired the APRN. Robin Keaton has joined our team and will be providing that service. In addition to substance use, I mentioned the developmental disabilities that we provide services to. So we have our adult day training program where we provide help for individuals with those IDD diagnoses to be able to gain independence and job skills. We also help them engage in self-care training. We integrate them into the communities. And they work at our thrift store. A lot of people don't understand that connection. We're not just a community mental health center that chooses to operate a thrift store. It's a thrift store with a purpose. So that thrift store is fully operated by our individuals with developmental disabilities, teaching them job skills. So we're really proud of that program as well. And then under prevention, a couple of the programs that I'll highlight there are of course, we have our regional prevention center that provides a huge array of services across the community: education, consultations, a lot of work with the school systems and other nonprofits and organizations within the community. But we have programs like the Stop Youth Coalition, which engages high school students across the region promoting substance-free living. And we also offer a lot of trainings around Narcan, parent education, and then real-time resources for substance use treatments. So that was just a brief overview of all the services that you have in front of you. As I said, Comprehend's been around for a very long time, but I feel like a reintroduction to the community is always good on occasion to let people know who we are and what we do and what critical services we offer to this community. And we appreciate the support of this court and allowing us to come talk, and Owen's presence on our board of directors. And I'll entertain any questions if you have any.
Melissa, maybe talk about any data you have on increased demand for your services vis-a-vis, mental health services across Mason County.
We have seen an increase over the last couple of years, I believe. Obviously, I hate to keep bringing up the term, but I think COVID has really increased the need for services. We've seen an increase in court referrals, a huge increase in the substance use.
Sure.
We're looking at probably about a 35 to 40% increase in our use in substance use.
And not to interrupt
services.
you, but you could mention methamphetamine has changed everything with regard to mental health issues. It's not just an addiction, but you see deterioration and psychosis and all these sedentary. I mean, it's mental health beats substance abuse.
That's right.
And it's completely different than anything we've seen before.
And not only are we seeing the increase in mental health and an increase in substance use, but we're seeing a huge increase in our dual diagnosis folks who have both, as John was kind of referencing there. But I think that this clinic is going to have a huge impact on the substance use issues within our region. And if we can save one life, that's what it's about. And I feel like that we have the opportunity to do that with this clinic.
A lot of our healthcare providers have there has been a focus on mobile units getting healthcare out to patients. Does Comprehend have a mobile unit? And has there ever been any discussion of combining mobile units or, a representative of the county? I think the commissioners and I and the county would look fondly on any attempt to get out further into the, I always envisioned going out to, say, Mays Lick and having a healthcare day, or down to Dover and having a healthcare day.
We do have a mobile unit.
Yes, ma'am.
We received a grant from the state, I believe it was in 2022, and we were able to purchase that mobile unit a little over a year ago, and we've been working to get that out into not only our outer counties, but the outer parts of this particular county as well. Again, it's just reducing the barriers to treatment. And if we can reduce the barriers that people have, then you can reach more people. So our peer support specialists are trained on driving that unit. Not everyone can get behind the wheel of a mobile RV and drive it successfully. But we are offering training on driving that unit to all of our peer support specialists. They're taking it out. That unit is equipped with telehealth capabilities so that they can access our docs, our therapists, and any other services that we have through Comprehend.
Pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff. Commissioners, any additional questions?
Yes, still have a clinic next to the police department. And if so, you're a sheriff, but is there still a clinic next to the police department? In that little strip mall, and if so, is there any collaboration?
Methadone.
Yeah, the
Yes.
methadone clinic.
That is not Comprehend.
I know it's not Comprehend.
Yeah, but it's still in operation, and it's a different medication. It's not, that's methadone. And what we're offering is buprenorphine, which is a totally different medication, and
And more widely used, is it not?
it is. It's more widely used. Not every person qualifies or meets the criteria to receive methadone, but buprenorphine is a more widely used medication because more individuals have what it takes as far as the health criteria to be able to take and accept that medication.
Thank you.
So it's different.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us today, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioners, in your packet, you will see the meeting minutes from our January 14th regular meeting of Mason County Fiscal Court. I will entertain a motion to approve said minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And we have a second. Any additions, deletions, or additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. And then I believe we have Clerk Stephanie Schumacher talking about our settlement for 2024.
Yes, thank you, Judge. So I have passed out the settlement for 2024 for the clerk's office with receipts totaling $6,457,319.30. Disbursements totaling $6,312,881.78, with excess fees payable to fiscal court in the amount of $144,437.52. So I have a check today for $120,000 that I'll give Megan, and then once the audit is complete, I'll turn over the remaining 24. And then just as an FYI, I like to keep track of this, but since I have been clerk, we have turned over $1,920,512.98 to fiscal court. So that's a lot of $21 car renewals.
Sure is.
So I'll need a motion to approve this settlement.
So move and thank you.
Yes.
Welcome.
I'll second and say thank you.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Clerk Schumacher, I will underscore the importance and appreciation. That's a good way to look at it. Over your tenure, provide back citizens of Mason County almost $2 million. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Commissioners, next up we have our road department report, and we've got road supervisor and Director Joe Brown joining us today. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, how you all?
Morning, Joe.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, for my report, went over all the trucks and got them ready for this, any more events we're gonna have like today. Went around all the areas. We had checked the down mailboxes, any damages from the storm that occurred. We had a few we had to replace. Had more salt delivered. And then we had some plywood in the salt bins that had went bad, so we replaced it. And then, I don't know, the judge might want to talk to this. We went to Good 360, picked up supplies, and they donated to where they needed to go. Judge, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, sir. So, received a call from a good friend there at Good 360. If you guys will remember, Good 360, a little more than a year ago, transitioned into the former Federal Mogul building after grant funding got it replaced. They had taken in a good amount of palletized industrial cleaning and industrial supplies from Granger, larger international industrial supply warehouse. Everything from soaps, detergents to
Floods and
yeah.
a little bit of everything.
DEF for like diesel fuel. Some of it had expired, but a lot of it was still usable. However, they could not put it back in their product chain, and so donated it to the county. Joe, the road department, Travis, and our landfill guys, we all met out at the facility along with the jail, transported it back to the landfill, and have moved those items out to different areas and divisions across the county. We're trying to track what the fiscal impact of that will be in savings to the county, but I think for hand soap, we are good for the next 3.5 years, and so it made me very, very happy. And I greatly appreciate you and your team and Travis and the landfill guys for helping out, getting that accomplished. So, it's a good deal.
Yeah, very much appreciated. I didn't say about my LLC. I missed my livestock. Sorry, got ahead of myself. On my livestock, I had, I had 22 customers, then on 22 customers total. And on my signs, made for the month, we didn't make any this last month. So on the total of the livestock, they were 26 total altogether.
January was hard on livestock.
No, it was very hard on that.
Also,
Poor little donkey didn't make it.
Commissioners, for your all's information, the Cliff Pike Bridge is now repaired, E&E Construction. It cost $27,680. Of that, $22,150 was covered by our state grant. And so the county only incurred about $5,500 in costs. Our Valley Pike Bridge, which just recently got rebuilt, had some issues with some kind of accident. The sheriff, myself, road department guys are still investigating, but we're looking at cost about $3,500 with both sides of the guardrail ripped out. So I expect those charges coming up. Any other questions for Joe? Guys are doing well, man. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Joe.
it.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the road department report. as
Got a motion?
I'll second it.
And we
Stay
have,
safe out there.
we have a second.
Everybody.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, next up, we've got our animal shelter report. We've got Director Brandy Thomas joining us today. Good morning, Brandy.
Good morning.
Morning, Brandon.
Morning, Brandy.
Morning.
Morning, Springs.
For the month of January, we had 30 dogs out. 8 were adopted, 3 were reclaimed. We had 12 rescued. Dogs in the month of January, we had 31. There was 8 strays, 8 abandoned, 1 owner surrender, and 1 cruelty neglect case. Animal control, we had 73 dog calls, 5 cat calls, and 19 field responses. Dogs brought into the shelter were 7. As of January 1st, 2025, shelter totals were dogs on site, 12, dogs in foster were 7, and it made a total of 19. As of 1/31/25, shelter totals were dogs on site, 11, dogs in foster were 2, and brought a total of 13. Donations to the fiscal court in the month of January were $556.10. Walmart donations were $452, and citizen donations were $315.72, which brought a total of $1,323.82. Volunteers' hours for the month of January were 81 hours and 15 minutes. We had 7 spay-neuter surgeries and 7 microchips completed.
Well done, my friend. Well done. I want to compliment Brandy on her dedication to the position. There have been numerous days where she is off, whether it be a Sunday or just a random day she's off, that we have gotten together in response to some shelter deal. Brandy is doing a fantastic job. Also, I think it's important we recognize friends at Hippie Burger for their donation. They did a program where, normally it's 3-5%, but I think Hippie Burger donated 20% of all sales from a full day's work. And so, it is our public-private partnership programs such as that empower us to, get better coverage at our shelter, improve our shelter, but yet limit the impact to taxpaying citizens here in Mason County. And so, appreciate you, my friend. Yes, ma'am. So I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning,
Good
Board.
morning,
Good
buddy.
morning.
I'll start with our disbursements for January 2025. To the Kentucky State Treasurer, $24,855.64. To the Mason County General Fund, $83,283.25. To the Mason County School District, $213,988. To the Mason County Public Library, $24,659.67. To the Mason County Health Department, $27,361.06. To the Mason County Extension Service, $14,945.16. To the City of Maysville, $24,059.89. And City of Dover, $209.35. That brings the total disbursements for January 2025 to $413,362.02.
Make a motion to accept as presented, please.
Second.
We got a motion, and we have a second. Any additional discussion for Sheriff? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we have submitted our monthly vehicle report for January 2025. Nothing major to report. Everything looks good. And then finally, we have our activity report. It was a really, really busy month for us, including the snowstorm, but also just calls for service. We opened 19 criminal investigations. One of those was a home burglary in Lewisburg, but unfortunately, we worked around the clock and were able to solve that quickly with help from the county attorney's office. We also made a significant drug arrest on a drug trafficker. We seized around 80 grams of methamphetamine, and obviously helped out with the snowstorm, recovering stranded motorists, and we're continuing speed enforcement on the AA highway. So those are just some highlights of the month, but it was a very, very busy month for us. So.
Well done. I'll highlight, the sheriff makes a good point when we have these snow events, winter weather events. A lot of us will, kind of coordinate around the Emergency Operations Center. And, the deputies out in the county do an awful lot of work in very difficult conditions when these weather events, normally, but also when these weather events hit. So we greatly appreciate that. Hats off for the crime fighting and the big truck bus, my friend.
All right. Thank you all.
Good work.
Good
I'll
job.
entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion? Got a second? Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. That, Commissioners, that brings us up to our emergency management report, and we have Director Tony Lees joining us today.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
Good to be here this morning. Just a look at our report here this morning. Training. We had several opportunities for training this month. Some of these are virtual, but they're all very beneficial. Identifying fake images. Unfortunately, with today's technology, people are using that to try to use them for false narrative. Also, we have new residential structure requirements. That has to do with the floodplain coordinator part of my responsibilities, CPR training, emergency preparedness. That is just a part of the another responsibility that I have. That we looked at incident management teams and the Kentucky qualification system. Just some things that can help us better serve our communities in times of disaster. The Kentucky qualification system is a process that we're looking to implement in the state to help us be basically credentialed. So if another state needs a team to assist them in a disaster, they know we qualify and will do things the way that they would do them. Basic emergency operation functions, and then also the MS ISAC is a cybersecurity training there. As far as planning, the TSEMA, that is actually a group that we have within West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. It's a tri-state group that we are partnering together along the river. And one of the projects we was working on this quarter was to list all of the ramps and ports that we might have within our county. So if we have an incident along the river, we know where we can put boats in, where we know where we can have a landing zone for a helicopter, just some different things there. So we went out and plotted all of those on the map. Also SoSync, which is the similar group, but it's on the opposite side of the state with Indiana, Northern Kentucky, and Ohio. And we had a tabletop planning meeting with them. They have a tabletop coming up on February 20th in conjunction with a riverboat event that they're having, so we assisted with that. Jumping down to incidents, it was a busy month with winter storms and cold. So we just kept our eyes on the roads as well as the temperatures, making sure we had heating, our warming centers that were available. And I just want to be, I guess, a little boastful and brag about Mason County. If you would look at the state map showing the different warming centers that were available throughout the state, Mason County had several. And so we have a great community here that's willing to step up and assist people in time of need. So very thankful for our community there. The missing person event, our search and rescue team assisted several times in going out and assisting the Mason County or the police department in the search for this individual. They were present when they located the individual, so I'm very thankful for our Buffalo Trace search and rescue team. Very good resource there. Also some more winter storms, and then also with the water breaks, we was on standby, just prepared to do whatever we needed to assist if that continued. The final thing there and other is a Kirk meeting, which is a meeting where we have viewing our emergency response plans for the state. So that is my report for the month of January.
Well done, Tom. Well done. Don't sell yourself short. I think you guys and the Buffalo Trace Search and Rescue guys were instrumental in helping find Miss Cooley and the missing person. Again, also with those water emergencies, Tony and I, a lot of times we're trying to think of worst case scenarios, identifying like where assets for palletized water, things of that nature, if it should come to that. And so we put a lot of work in on the tail end, hoping that the worst case never comes to fruition. So I appreciate you, my friend.
My privilege.
I'll entertain a motion to approve our emergency management.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any additional discussion?
Thanks, Tom.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, that brings us to our Mason County Detention Center report. Jailer Yuri is still disposed at the jail, and so I'll go a little bit through her report. For the month of January 2025, the highest daily count was 173, the lowest daily count was 157, with a monthly average of 165 inmates. Of that, males were 133, females had an average of 32. Geographically broken down, Mason County had 88 inmates, Bracken County 14, Fleming County 50, Lewis County 14, and all other counties included 11 inmates. Of the total population, Class D represents 76 inmates, controlled intake was 27, and SAP was 21. Total admitted and released into the Mason County Detention Center for the month of January was 231. Of those, 169 were males and 62 were females. Monies collected, community service hours, they put in 6,200. Jail reimbursements collected, $2,385.99. Bond fees totaling $69.27. Release fees were $158.32, while booking fees were $767.43. Did a lot of work out in the community, helping out Rebecca Cartman, our Mason County Food Bank, who joins us today, as well as Mason County Lincoln Valley Commodities, and then assisted with ice and snow removal up at our senior center. The rest of the information is there in your packet. And so I will entertain a motion to approve our detention center.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, we have a second. Any additional questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Also, in her packet, you will see notification that the Mason County Detention Center is considering applicants outside of Mason County. And so I think there's some caveat that she has to advise us of that.
I was not aware of this statute, but it appears it was approved or amended in 2020 to provide for this. It does not require approval, although I don't think it hurts to approve this by motion and let her proceed, but it requires that the actual candidates be brought back to you for approval before hiring. So,
Is it out of county, out of state?
out of state,
That's what I thought, yeah.
out of state.
So they
You
go
mean
to-
brought back to live?
The statute says, and again, I learn something new every day, Peggy. The statute says, before a jailer appoints a deputy jailer who resides outside of the Commonwealth, the jailer shall in writing certify that no qualified resident of Kentucky was available for position at the time the position was sought to be filled, which justified the seeking of qualified application from outside the Commonwealth. It appears to me that you need to approve the actual person when hired. Does that seem? So you can approve her seeking applicants, condition upon her bringing the applicants back to you for approval. That seems completely reasonable to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
Seems, yeah.
It's just being on the Ohio River.
I mean, one time, for instance, the city of Maysville had police and fire had to live inside the city, and that was restricted so much that they had trouble filling. They went wider. I'm not aware of people outside the state, but this permits it. And if you have a qualified candidate outside the state, I wouldn't see any reason, Judge, not to fill it.
Absolutely not.
But it has a preference. If there was a candidate applicant from Kentucky and a candidate applicant from Ohio, the Kentucky one wins out.
Right.
But do we need a motion for that, or?
I think she's asking for that, so.
Okay.
So moved, as presented.
So it would be to approve seeking applicants from outside Kentucky contingent upon approval of the applicants by the fiscal court prior to hiring.
Second.
As presented.
We have a motion and a second as presented. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, also in your packet throughout the jail, you will see a request to surplus. It looks like some old mats, an old freezer, two laptops, an old 1/2 horsepower motor, and a pressure relief valve.
And does the list say how?
All
Yes.
going to the landfill.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the surplus list as presented.
Got a motion?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, that brings us to our landfill report, and we've got Director Cooley here today, as well as Ms. Madison. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Travis.
During the month of January, The landfill took in 5,501 tons of waste valued at $152,695. Curb fees were $7,084. Roll-off had $20,600 in billable accounts. We pumped 2,641,645 gallons of leachate to the city treatment plant. Contained landfill is normal day-to-day activities. Phase 6 is complete. They got some repair work that they have done. We've got to get the state back in there as soon as the weather permits us to pump it dry. As soon as we get the water level down, the state will come in and do their final inspection, and hopefully we can get rolling on it.
But we got the inspector basically on call. We got
Yeah, they're 24-hour notice is all he needs. The residual landfill, they're still taking gypsum out as long as weather's permitting. Once the final inspection is done and it's approved, they got a CPR that has to be submitted, so, I mean, it'll be 10 days after that. So, shouldn't be no hiccups as long as final approval's made. That's all I've got as far as the landfill goes.
The problem's gonna be getting rid of the stormwater.
It's pitiful. It's the way it is.
Well, at this point, it's not considered stormwater, it's
Right.
considered leachate because it's inside the cell. So it's gotta be pumped and treated.
So I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
The report.
I'll second.
Got a motion, we have a second. Is there any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Next thing I've got is a garbage report.
Please.
They collected, in January, they collected 329.38 tons of garbage, 404 active waste wheelers. We have a waiting list for, well, we've had a waiting list until yesterday. We finally had waste wheelers come in yesterday, so we'll be getting them dispersed out. There's 107 active dumpsters.
Well done. Look for a motion to approve,
So moved.
garbage collection. Got a motion and a second.
Second.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioners, also in your packet, you will see the recycling center report from Mr. Randy Ham for January's monthly report. In Mason County, they picked up 69,860 pounds. They had 2 loads of cardboard shipped to International Paper for 84,660 pounds, which equals the total shipped in January. The total collected in December was $2,260.32. And our customers into the recycling center for January is down a bit to 63. As always, total amount hauled from recycling to the landfill was 0 pounds. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the recycling center report by Mr. Hamer.
So moved.
Got a motion?
I'll second. Go ahead, Jim.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Also, we, I think, did 2 pickups from Mason County High School on their recycling program. I forget the young man's name. He did a good job. Griffin Martinez, yes. Yes. Nice young man. Commissioners, that brings us up to our property abatement and illegal dumping reports from Director Shane Taylor. You will see that information in your packet. Any that you have questions on, any properties that you have questions on, please don't hesitate to.
Following the last meeting, I reviewed with Shane, or I reviewed whether there were criminal complaints outstanding and what was going on with them, whether they were served, not served. With Shane, reached out to the sheriff on a couple, but I think we need to update this report. There's some that says are in court that aren't in court, or we need to get criminal complaints signed. So Shane and I will work to, it was like there's about 8 or 9 of them that need criminal complaints done.
Agreed. Okay.
But I'll work with him to get that done.
Okay, thank you.
I did review it though.
Thank you.
So I entertain a motion to approve January's property abatement and illegal dumping report, please.
So moved.
Got a motion? Looking for a second.
I'll second.
And we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame,
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Which brings us up to our garbage collection, to our resolution. So, a lot of the state grant programs through solid waste are on a 3, sometimes 4-year rotation. I'll remind the commission about every 3 years, we will have the contractors come through to do waste tire collection events. A couple others, but one of the big ones is Household Hazardous Waste Grant Program. And so we need the court's approval to apply for the resolution 25-01, which is the 2025 Household Hazardous Waste Grant Program. Now, in your packet, you will see the estimates in there. On this page, looking at what I would term as $25,000, approximately $25,000 worth of service that the county will pay approximately $1,000 for, because it also includes 25% in-kind match. The 25% match is representative of $3,955, but in-kind services between Shane's salary, a lot of our services, the utilization of the space, as well as our detention center inmate assistance. In kind is going to be about $2,926 of that, leaving us a total of $1,029. This is the program where folks, we will set up on site, probably use Phoenix's site again, where citizens across the county could come in with their household hazardous waste, old paint cans, stuff they're cleaning out of their garage, bring by and get rid of it. And so I'm looking for a motion to approve, looking for a resolution to participate in the Household Hazardous Waste Grant Program for 25.
That was very successful last time, I thought, very popular,
Yes, sir.
had a lot of compliments, positive comments about that being offered. Make a motion to approve, resolution 25-01.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, we have a second. Is there any additional discussion? And so we're targeting probably spring to roll this out. We'll do plenty of advertisement And as a matter of fact, the grant covers advertising in our local newspaper as well as radio. And we're looking forward to another very successful household hazardous waste program for 2025.
Do we have any means of collecting IT type equipment, computer monitors, which I think aren't supposed to go to landfill? Do you know?
Yes, they've got an e-waste grant.
So that's a different event. Thank you.
But we shall explore that. I think roll call, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, so let's add. When you guys see the advertisement, we'll probably mess that a little bit, but it gives you an idea of what's involved. So commissioners, it brings us up to our treasurer's report. And this morning we have joining us Treasurer Megan Davenport.
Morning, Megan.
I'd like the court's authorization to pay claims as presented, including additional claims totaling $61,450.
So moved. Second.
We got a motion. We have a second. Is there any additional discussion, additional deletions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like the court's approval of the monthly financial statement as of January 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to have the court's approval to make budget transfers totaling $431,700.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any additions, deletions, or additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
Well done, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, also in your packet, you will see tourism's report for the month of January. With upcoming events, as well as some state projects that are in the works. So that is for your information. Also, you will see our BMS report submitted by Chief Kyle Carpenter. Across Mesa County, they had 352 total runs for the month of January. Of those, 71 were county runs and 281 were within the city. And you will see Jim Fawcett's permit report, majority of which is residential. This brings us up to new business. Commissioners, we have our Siemens Fire Service renewal agreement in your packet. If you remember, we put this out for bid last year. And so before you, we have bid from Siemens. This is for fire service for the Justice Center across the street. So I need a motion to approve.
Assuming we're happy with their service, I would make the motion that we approve.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Oh, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Also, our board appointments, we'll be renewing Miss Lori Ulrich to Buffalo Trace Area Development District for, also want to ask.
Just, I'm sorry, Judge, I'd just like to make clear on appointments.
Yeah.
This is your appointment or joint appointment with?
My appointment.
It's not fiscal court appointment, it's the judge's appointment.
Correct. Also thank Mr. Bill Boggs for his service. Also want to thank my good friend Kirby Rosser, who is wrapping up the citizen membership seat, representative of Mason County over the last 4 years. That seat with Buffalo Trace transitions to the Fleming County now. So now Fleming County will have it for 2 two-year terms, and then it shall return. Kirby still will be staying on the banking committee for the board. And that brings us to communications. Any communications from the commissioners? I want to highlight our good friends over at the Museum Center and others whenever we have kind of larger meetings. They do a fantastic job housing everyone, as well as other amenities across town when we're looking to host our partners, such as utility companies, things like that. They do a great job right across the street. Also want to bring up Mayslick Steak Night will be this Saturday, the 15th, from 4 to 7. My good friend Chief Gifford wanted me to remind the court of that, as well as our Martin Luther King Walk. Pastor Keith Barber. This is the reschedule from January, and that will be Saturday at 1 p.m. from Scott United to Washington Missionary Baptist. Also congratulate, we went out for our amazing shake contestants there at the Mason County Middle School. Did a fantastic job. Some projects we are, they're starting the electric that you guys approved at the Senior Center, converting the old lights into LED lights. The treasurer's office, updating some plugs and wiring. The shelter we talked about earlier, waiting on weather to break, but all of the foundational work is completed. And then our storage building for the clerk's office behind the sheriff's office, waiting on prints from DS2. Any communications from the commissioner? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
And since we can see out of